The most difficult one that actually had a huge impact on my life is when I lost everything. I can't really tell you, you have to cut out your fake friends, or you have to stop talking to this person, or I can't really tell you that because everybody's journey is different. Having a very private, intimate conversation with him, just praying, worshiping, and acknowledging that everything you have today is not you. It doesn't come from you. Honestly, I don't believe in 50-50. I'm not one of those women. I'm sorry. Money is very dangerous, especially when it has to do with love, when it's mixed with love.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Deep Dive Podcast. I'm Raissa, and we have.
And I'm Gloria.
And today's guest is not your average entrepreneur. She is a faith driven force building her brand, Eva's Touch, working as a project manager and feeding souls, literally and spiritually. Maeva Biyo was just a girl with a mission, feeding the streets of Cameroon with her own hands. This isn't just a beautypreneur. She's a woman of God, a warrior, and a visionary. And today we're getting to know the real her, no filters, and getting into all that fluff. Help us welcome Maeva.
Welcome.
Hi, ladies. I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much for, giving me the opportunity to come on here, share my story, my journey. Again, like you said, my name is Maeva Biyo. I am a project manager, entrepreneur. I like to call myself beautypreneur, but
Yeah.
entrepreneur and philanthropist. Over the years, I have worked in multiple industry trying to find that thing that my soul, just loves as far as like career. And after trying so many different, career fields, healthcare, nursing, I started from literally being a home health aide and then CNA and then going to nursing school and then I quit, so it's been a journey. And now I found myself into tech, project management, and I have a business, so I'm super grateful for that. But in addition to that, I am also a philanthropist. I love giving back. One of my long term goals is to be able to provide hope, opportunity, to those that are less fortunate, and scholarships, just build or pave the way for people that don't have the same opportunity that I do. So,
Okay. I love that. I'm so glad that you got a chance to actually come on the pod because we've been talking about it for a minute now, and now
yeah.
you're here. And so I really wanted to know, like, what was the lowest moment in your life, especially in your entrepreneurial journey, and how did you keep going with everything that you have going on?
Whew. I mean, if I want to be completely honest, I've had a couple of lows. I feel like as an entrepreneur or as a child of God, just in general, as somebody that has like ambition and visions,
Hmm.
it comes with challenges. It's like new level, new challenges. You know the saying, more money, more problems.
Right.
New level, new challenges. So I had a couple of them, but I believe the most difficult one that actually had a huge impact on my life
Hmm.
is when I lost everything. A couple of years ago,
Hmm.
if I want to be precise, between 2022 2023, I lost everything. I lost everything I had. Some of the reasons are because of my own mistakes. You got to take accountability. I
Right.
wasn't as wise as I am. I wasn't as responsible as I am. I wasn't as focused. But at the same time, I also interacted and got myself involved with the wrong people, and they had consequences. So I went through a phase where I lost my job. My, very own close friend that
Hmm.
I call best friend actually ended up calling HR on me. From there, my daughter
What?
came into this country. I had no job, then I moved into the wrong house with the wrong roommates.
Mm.
And that went, so it was just like a series of just lows, and it just kept getting lower and lower. And in those moments, my credit score dropped, went from seven something to like 510. And I
Mm.
lost I lost everything. Like when you think about every materialistic thing that somebody can have or that could work for in their
Mm.
late 20s, I lost that.
Mm.
But one thing I didn't lose was my
Mm.
confidence and my soul. So I
Right.
knew I could get everything else back. you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was a very challenging time of my life. But I believe that that is the period that helped me become who I am today, because it's in that low that I launched my business.
Mm.
You
Wow.
would think I launched my business when things was going so well. I had so much money. I didn't have no money, girl. I did not. I had a plan, I had a vision, and I kept waiting for so many years. I'm like, I'm gonna wait till I get the money. I'm gonna wait till I'm gonna wait till my credit score. I'm gonna wait, and it's like the more I wait, something kept happening. I
Right.
Mm.
wait, I'm building, and something keeps happening. So I was like, you know what? I started going to the gym. I got
Mhm.
to a point where I just stopped feeling sorry for myself. I stopped being down. I stopped blaming X or Y. And I started pointing a finger at myself and see where I can, get better at, and the mistakes that I just got to carry on to the next level and keep it pushing. And
Mhm.
it really fueled me to get back in the gym. I started my fitness journey again, and that has changed my life completely. Like, I
Mm.
cannot not go to the gym or eat healthy. It fueled me to launching my business. And what I didn't see in those moments was really just God bringing out the person that I've been sleeping on this whole time.
Mhm.
Because if I can launch that brand with nothing, then I can definitely do bigger when I have something. So, yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's a story of resilience. I didn't even know all of that about you, honestly. Like we just
Yeah.
see the nice
The
pictures,
pictures,
right? The
Instagram.
you see someone's day 10, but you don't know their day 1, how they
Hmm.
got to that point. So it's really great that you were able to share that with people so people can also understand that, Maeva has been through some things. Don't let the pretty face, fool you.
Don't
Right.
let it fool you, okay? I am pretty. I'm just kidding.
So you are in two industries that are dominated by, very, there's a lot of competition and egos. I'm talking about tech and beauty industry. It's flooded, it's all over the place. How do you stay grounded, and not lose yourself in the hustle?
That's a very good question. One, I would say really putting God first. Outside of the competition, outside of the industry, just being, I wouldn't say packed or oversaturated, because I don't believe in that.
Right.
There's a lot that comes with just being me, as far as having a vision, being outspoken, and I know how to dress, my aura. And sometimes I don't even know why. It's like I will walk in a room and there's an energy shift. Not to toot my own horn, but
Mhm.
once I realized that about myself, one, I always like to put God first. Like, I pray before I walk in any room. Literally, I don't care how in a rush I am.
Mm.
So I think putting Him first and asking Him to guide me in everything I do, it just really helps me navigate and stay true to myself whenever I find myself in those type of rooms or situation, or around those type of community. Just stay true to myself and be confident in who I am. But as
Mm.
far as, like, let's say maybe tech, I
Mhm.
would say upskill. I am constantly learning. I'm constantly reading. I am constantly just learning. I just feel like knowledge is power. And when
Yeah.
you have value and you have something to offer, you'll walk in a room full of people and you're not insecure. You're not afraid, because you're bringing value, you know?
Right.
Mhm. Mhm.
Sure.
I like that. So I like when you said that even in the tech and beauty industry, you don't believe that there's like no other room for other people to join, right, and
Saturation.
tap into that because you have a beauty brand, right, Eva's Touch Beauty, and
Mhm.
some may say like, oh, there are already so many other beauty brands. Like, what makes yours different, right? Why should we purchase your beauty brand versus the other names out there? So I don't want to mention them because I don't want to give
Of
them.
course, you don't spoil your market, please. You never know. But that is a very good question, actually. But what sets my brand apart is, one, the eco-friendly aspect of my brand. I
Mhm.
believe we're very intentional about the products that we made. It's not just about making money. It's not just about having a beauty brand, but every product that I have made, manufactured, developed, is with a goal of empowering whoever is going to use that product. And whether it be through our packaging, we
Yes.
always try to put a nice word of affirmation, a nice little reminder in there to remind whoever is receiving this product of who they are, how beautiful they are. But in addition to that,
Mhm.
I strongly believe is because my beauty brand,
Mhm.
Mm.
unlike others, I don't know how many there are out there, but my beauty brand is a pillar of empowerment. It's
Yeah.
not just lip gloss and cosmetic. Like, I want people to look, especially people in Africa. We're in America, we have opportunities, but I want
Mm.
people in Cameroon,
Mhm.
black girls, to look at me, how tatted I am, because we both know that's a taboo where we come from. So I want them to be able to look at me and feel inspired to reach for the moon. Like, if like I can start my own thing. I can have my own brand, and it can be this big, because Maeva did it. That's what it's more about for me, to be honest. And then making a lot of money.
Right.
You
Of
can do
course.
both. Yeah,
Of
serve
course.
and get rewarded. It goes hand in hand.
Yep. Of
Hmm.
course. Definitely. Just to ask, are you in the Cameroon market?
Like, what do you mean?
No.
What do you mean?
Let's say, like, is
Uh-huh.
your brand like? I guess they can probably buy it, but like, are
Mm.
people in Cameroon able to purchase, Ava's Touch? That's what I'm just asking.
Oh, yes and no. Yes, because I do have a couple of vendors
Mhm.
that I have given the products to, but I haven't
Mhm.
been able to release them because, again, my brand comes with an experience. I've attached a certain level of experience with my brand, and
Mhm.
if whoever is receiving is not able to feel that experience or experience that, I'd rather just not deliver it. So for now,
Right.
no, we're not operating globally, but by
Mhm.
God's grace, before the end of this year, we will be shipping worldwide, and especially
Amen.
in Cameroon.
Okay.
Amen. Speaking that into existence.
Yes.
So
Yes,
Cameroon has shaped your heart, right, towards
yes,
service.
yes.
This is just general. Do you think that Africa diaspora is doing enough to uplift, the African communities back home?
No. Ooh, I've been waiting for this question my whole life.
Yeah,
So
why?
no, I actually do not think so. And I'm so happy you asked me this question. I really want a lot of people, if I ever get to sit on podcasts, that really ask me this question, because I've had a lot of backlash from my own community for interacting a little bit more with Nigerians or being a little bit more invested in the Nigerian community. Outside of the fact that I grew up around Nigerians, literally my best friend when I was 5, 6, 7 was Yoruba. Growing up, I dated Yoruba. So it's been a series of I've been a part of this culture, right? So you would think I am, but I'm not 100% Cameroonian. So if you're watching this, don't think I'm Nigerian, please. But anyways, um, I just feel like our people we don't have that community sense. We don't have that. I'm up and I help you get up, and then you help the next person get up, and then it's just a ladder of going up. What I've experienced, and I believe a lot of Cameroonians in the diaspora or in our community have also experienced, is we are almost in competition with one another, where it's like, somebody's doing good, your own brother finds way to kind of like degrade what they're doing, or just put stumbling blocks around the way. And
Yeah.
it's really sad because even in other communities, let me take Nigerian or Ghanaian or Kenyans, for example, they still have conflicts among themselves, right? They still fight, they still argue, they're still bad people, fake people, whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to sticking together,
Yes.
you
Mm.
cannot talk bad about a Nigerian if you're not. It's not allowed, because they will all regroup together to bring you into the ground. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
if they have to, and then they'll go back to fighting themselves if they have to. But I think that's one thing that we really lack within the
Mm.
Cameroonian community, and I really pray. I strongly believe that I'm going to be a change in this community, because
Hey.
I have a certain influence, and I'm not afraid to stand on what I believe in, even though I know a lot of people are not going to agree to it, but they will also acknowledge that it's the truth. I'm just bold enough to say it, right?
Mm,
Right.
But for a change to happen anywhere, there's not saying there'll be blood spilled, but there's always
Mhm.
blood shedded, even in countries when there's war. There can be a change. There can be an economical change or any type of change if there's not hard decisions that are being taken or sacrifices that are being made. So I'm willing to sacrifice because
Mhm.
we need to
yeah,
get there.
yeah, we
Okay.
need to get there by fire or by force.
By
Hey,
force.
hey. You said I have a dream. So it seems like you have a dream too for your
I
people.
do. I do, and we're gonna get there together.
Yes, yes, we are. Yes,
Yes.
we are.
So it's funny because I met you years ago, and back then when I met you, you were heavily into fashion, into dancing, comedy, and I see that you've been able to rebrand successfully into your entrepreneurship journey, into your faith journey. So how has the rebranding process been like for you? And what advice would you give to others looking to rebrand themselves?
Okay, so that rebranding process has been
Mhm.
quite interesting. Outside of just rebranding, I think it's also been a self-discovery process where, I was thinking that I'm only limited to be able to do this. And, as you get closer to God and you develop new things about yourself, you realize that, well, I particularly realized that, you know, it's fun to create content for the purpose of entertainment. um it's fun to dance and be in those scenes, but I got to a level where it wasn't feeling great on the inside anymore. It's like, okay, you can dance, and so okay,
Mm,
you know how to dress, and so right.
Mhm.
So eventually I started navigating towards purpose. I started navigating towards purpose, adding value. I have a motto. My motto is, and I actually saw a video on Instagram repeating
Mhm.
my motto. I was like, no, that's my motto. Like,
Okay.
no. But the motto is, I like to leave people better than how I met them. Right.
mm,
That's a good one.
I've always been, yeah, I've always been like that. But I think with life challenges, I kind of like also became selfish, as a
Mhm.
hurt person, heartbroken. But then you eventually also get over that stage where it's like, okay, I'm me again, and I'm me
mm,
even better.
Yeah.
So me in this stage, I gravitated towards adding value, and that is what really led my rebrand. It's like
Mhm.
I didn't want to be in the scenes anymore. I didn't want to be dancing. People don't really get to see this on the front end, but on the back end, dancers don't really get respect.
Mhm.
Women in the entertainment, like they say, is a male industry, but as a woman, they just see you as somebody that they can have fun with, and I felt like I wasn't that. I'm more than that. And the fact that I have tattoos make it very hard for me to even showcase that. So I had to really navigate my whole life to show that I'm not that, right?
Right.
And it wasn't forced. It was very natural. It was very, I'm over this type, I'm over this until I find purpose in this.
Mhm.
I don't want to do it anymore. And I started gravitating towards things that I felt like God was leading me towards,
Okay.
and they had purpose. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But if I was, I think I missed the last question. So if I was to advise somebody right now
Yes.
about rebranding their life or just changing,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, um, I probably said a lot about God here, but I'm sorry. That's
Okay.
my strength, honey. That's my pillar.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Be unapologetic
Yeah.
about it.
Mhm.
That's what is keeping you going. That's
Listen.
what makes you who you are.
Listen, if you coming from where I'm coming from, I promise you, you understand, right? But I always like to
Mhm.
put God first, and it's not because I want to sound so heavenly. Because trust me, I am a sinner. I sin, okay, and every day I ask God to just make me better because I'm not perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I'm just human, right? But I know. my heart is pure. So yes, I can talk about him because I have a pure heart. But I would really just say it's me wanting, a lot of time we do things on our own. We start businesses on our own. We get in relationship with people because we think we make friends because maybe this person is so nice. But in this age, I'm gonna be 30 in like a couple of months. There's absolutely nothing like if I meet you right now as a friend, business partner, I will open my Bible when I get home. I must pray about you because I don't know
Mhm.
what spirit you're coming with. I need to know if this is a friendship or relationship that God wants me to entertain, right? And the
Right.
moment I started putting God first, that's where I'm heading. I can't really tell you, you have to cut out your fake friends or you have to stop talking to this person, or I can't really tell you that because everybody's journey is different and everybody navigate differently. Everybody's situation challenges are different. But one thing I can say is when you do put God first, and putting God first is not just talking about him, it's more so having a very private, intimate conversation with him, just praying, worshiping, and acknowledging that everything you have today is not you. It doesn't come from you. And once I was able to do that, it's like everything was going left. Everything I tried to do on my own just crumbled. So I got to a point where I wanted to be a different person. I was in a 5-year relationship with a very popular person in the DMV that I'd rather not name. Um,
Mhm.
known each other for 7 years, but dated for 5. And it's like I wanted to. Person is an amazing man, right? But we had a lot of challenges, and he just wasn't speaking my love language. So I got to a point where it's like, okay, maybe God didn't approve it, and if He did, maybe in the future. But I got to walk away. So I was trying to rebrand also from that and heal, and I realized that Eva, you can't do it on your own, baby. You're
Mhm.
hurt. You're
Right.
literally broken right now. Your own strength has carried you
This
to
far.
places where you don't even want to be. So
Yeah.
just surrender. That's literally how my thought process was. It's like I was at a point where, and I feel like God took me to that point where it's like you have no choice but to turn to me, baby. Your friends ain't gonna help you. That
Mhm.
man ain't gonna help you.
Right.
Social media would not help you.
Mm.
But if you turn to me, which is if you put me first, everything else will be added onto you. And that's literally what I feel like my life is. Because some things that I do or that I even put out on social media, I sometimes I know people look at it and they're like, "Oh, she's beautiful, she's, she's perfect, she's this, she's that." But baby, it's really just God adding this to me. Like I'm just following his guide. Sometimes I will be stuck on a project or I'm trying to do something and I don't know how to do it. I'm stuck. And then I'll
Right.
leave it and then I'll pray about it and I keep praying about it and I keep praying about it. And then eventually the vision becomes clear. So I say all that to say is really just putting God first and having a very personal relationship with him about what you want, who you want to become, what you want to do, and trusting in him. I think people really underestimate the power of faith. Like faith move mountains. I tell you, I kid you not. And I say that because the way I see faith working is, have you ever been somewhere where you're surrounded by people that speak really good English, but there's that one person that doesn't even speak good English, but they're so confident in the way they're speaking. Like
Mhm.
they're very outspoken. They don't care how you see them. It takes a certain level of confidence and faith to know that, oh, they know they don't speak English, but they trust that you will hear what they're saying, and you
Right.
do. You try your best to do right to hear them. So that's the same principle I apply in my life. It's like faith. There are things that inside of me I know I'm insecure about. I know I have to work on. I know I'm not perfect at,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna have faith in the fact that I'm working on them. I'm gonna
Mhm.
have faith in the fact that I just launched this business and it's not really making money right now, but I trust that God gave me this idea for a reason. So I'm
Mhm.
going to keep going with it until I get it to where I want it to be. Obviously, marketing strategies is not all faith though. Faith without work, it will not work. So
Yes,
if you're watching this video,
yes,
if
it's
you're
there.
watching this video thinking that faith will carry you, but no, it will not. But I feel like that's the first step. That is literally the first step to rebranding, to doing anything. And then everything else is just about intentionality and
Mhm.
consistency. And
Okay.
You're
Okay.
reachable.
So we've spoken a lot about fate, fate, fate. Let's, dive in a little bit more. Have people ever
Okay.
told you to tone it down, like you're doing too much? Especially when it comes to, I mean, let's just assume maybe in your field or as an entrepreneur with your business, always talking about fate, fate, fate. Have people told you that, hey, we get it, but tone it down a little, chill?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes. Absolutely. I've actually lost contracts because I spoke about God.
It's funny because that was a
Literally.
question I wanted to ask
That was
you
another,
if you've ever
literally
turned down an opportunity because it didn't align with
with
your
your
spirit.
spirit.
Wow. Look at God.
Yeah, I did. And people and so a lot of the people that will actually tell me to tone it down, I paid attention, is people that knew the old me. It's people
Mm.
that knew my past and people that knew the old me. So to them, it's almost as if that faith, God's, is bothering their spirit. And I don't know why, right? Or they just are in denial of the fact that
Mm-hmm.
I'm a changed person. And I'm a
They,
person that they never thought I would become.
they can't reconcile
Or
your
I've
past.
elevated to exactly. So yes, and I have turned down opportunities. Because just like this conversation is going, there are certain questions or certain topics we would address and God will come up, right?
Right.
And quick story, this is 2 minutes. That
Yes.
particular opportunity was actually a big contract. It was supposed to be an investor for my
Mm.
business. And I wouldn't say I was desperate, but I wanted it so bad. I wanted it
Mm,
so bad that I went to the extra mile of, meeting up the person at a time that I don't meet up people. Like if we're trying to have a business meeting, especially men, I'm not meeting you up somewhere at 8 p.m. I'm not
yeah.
doing that, right? But
Right. Right.
because I was busy and it's like, okay, Eva, don't look for reasons. It's still a professional settings you guys are meeting up at. Don't overthink it, but I already
Mm-hmm.
had like the red flag, the intuition, just So I still
Mm-hmm.
went, and in the middle of the conversation, they brought their business partner. I brought my own business partner, which is just somebody that works for my company.
Mhm.
But in the middle of the conversation, they asked me a particular question, which I rather not say, and I brought up, I explained the question, I explained how I started, and I mentioned God. I kept mentioning God. I kept mentioning God, and they asked me. They said, "But I don't believe in God, so how is this relationship going to work?"
How is the
Wow.
business
And I told him
relationship?
straight up, yeah, yeah, how's the business relationship? And I told him it might not.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Straight
Mm.
up. Like I did not say, oh, maybe because I said it might not.
Right.
If you're
Right.
already asking that question, that means you have doubts, that means you have concerns. And the
Hmm.
fact that you're actually asking me that question, now I have doubt and now
Yes.
I have concerns and I don't feel comfortable anymore because if I take this investment, we have a long-term relationship.
Right.
And
Right.
I can't excel with somebody that doesn't have the same belief or the same operating mind as me. It's just not gonna work. So I turned her down.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because God
Especially
is
in,
first and I'm gonna stand on business.
right.
Dead toes.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I love how you were able to share that because, again, some people may be listening and perhaps like, okay, they're in a relationship with somebody right now, and this person that they're dating they're sharing ideas, they're helping this person, they're building this person up in their business. Like, would you advise women to go into business with someone they're dating? What are your thoughts on that?
No, no,
Why not?
no. I would say no because unless you guys are both very successful, like
Mm.
you're making a lot of money, he's making a lot of money, and you guys just have money to invest.
Right,
Mm,
That makes sense. It's a
right.
two-party agreement. We both want something out of this, right? But I think
Mhm.
the mistake that we women often make is because you're dating somebody, you guys in love, you think that, oh, we can run an empire together or start a business together. And I personally wouldn't advise that because, there's usually two things that bring conflict between people. For men, is money
Mhm.
and women. For
Mhm.
women, it's money and men. So, um, I would say, as a woman, right?
Yeah.
Unless you have to give to your partner, I'm not against it.
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't believe in 50-50. I'm not one of those women. I'm sorry. I just believe in the fact that I work, I have my own thing going on, my own
Mhm.
business career. But any man that's going to be with me, he has to be a man. A man, and I'm not talking about paying my bills. Pay your own bills because we're going to be living together, right? But you have to know that a man is a protector, a man is a provider. Doesn't mean you have to pay my bills. It just means if my car break down, can I call on you? Can I know that my man will come to my rescue? Oh no.
Right.
Those little things. But nowadays it's kind of hard to find men that actually know those things and actually do them, right?
Yes.
So because of that, it's like if you're getting money involved with somebody that you're not 100% sure,
Mhm.
or you guys are not fully successful and stable, there will be
Mhm.
conflict down the line eventually,
Yeah.
and it will cause a lot of problems between the relationship, and then probably you'll lose your money.
Mm.
I would advise somebody, like, if you have a partner, unless your partner is coming to you and saying, hey, I want to invest in this business. Ah, madam, I can't tell you what to do. Let me switch to African accent because I can't tell you what you're doing in that. I can't tell you what to do in that case. However, what I would say, if I was a woman and my partner, like my partner, my ex-partner, right?
Yes.
He literally just launched a very big business in DC. And
Wow.
a lot of people don't really know, but we have been through a lot. And one of the phases we went through before we parted was that business. And I was
Mm.
focused on being a support system. I was focused on being there for him mentally, physically, if he needed assistance in doing this. Maybe
Mhm.
if you have skills that can contribute to the business,
Yeah.
invest that way.
Okay.
Because money is very dangerous, especially when it has to do with love, when it's mixed with love. So I personally wouldn't do it unless it's my husband.
Mhm.
Just a quick question. Did you
Yes.
invest with this person
Mhm.
that we're not naming in their business venture? Like, are you
Oh no,
speaking?
baby. No, I
Okay.
didn't. I didn't even have money to invest. Invest with what money?
Thank God, right?
I was just like, is this from experience? And he's like, and I'm like, okay, all right.
No, but it's from experience before him, because the father of my child, I have a
Mhm.
10-year-old daughter, by the way.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure people be like, "Ooh, maybe she doesn't know the father of child," because I've never posted, never talked about. I literally don't talk about this man. But
Mhm.
Mm,
the father of my child, on the other hand, because we was together for 3 years, and I actually invested in a business that he was doing. That's the
mm,
experience. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the experience, not my ex. That's the
Mhm.
experience. So with my ex, although I didn't really have much. I'm not gonna sit up here and cap, baby.
Right.
I okay, but I had a lot. I had a lot of other things to offer. So it's like, although I was falling, I didn't really have much financially.
Mhm. You had
Personally, I
skills.
had a lot, like skills, mentally, I
Mhm.
drive. Like I have the heart of a lion that he needed. Basically, there's certain things that he will ask me to do that even him he couldn't do. It's like, you really did it. I'm like, yes. What did you think? So we gotta like complimented each other on that side, but no, I wouldn't say unless it's your husband, honestly.
So would you do this again, like, in your next relationship, like this, applying all these skills and time and resources to help your partner with their dream?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let me tell you why, right? Because um hopefully my future men don't see this podcast, but um I surely feel like I don't know what it does to me, but it does something to me. Outside of me naturally being this way, I like
Mhm.
to leave a stamp on people. It's like when I leave your life, you gonna remember me.
you feel
You
it.
just have to remember me one way. You feel it. You just have to. Like, I'm gonna make sure you do one way or another. I will
Mhm.
make sure you do one way or another. So yes, I would do it again because outside of the fact of having a mindset of adding value, like
Mm.
I want to add value. I want to pour into you. I want to help you. That's just me. I think that's my calling at this point. But outside of that genuine fact,
Mhm.
I like to intentionally do something that I
Yes.
know you cannot find easily. So yeah,
Mm,
I'll do it again.
okay.
Wow. So you're a servant. You like to
Yeah.
serve. Yes.
Yeah.
Those are some good qualities.
So that's a nice love
Yeah,
language.
even in business and in relationship.
Mm-hmm.
With
Mm-hmm.
your brand too,
Yes,
giving back,
exactly.
helping philanthropist work.
So that's just who you are.
Oh
As a
yeah, I
Right.
love that, guys. I don't know. I just feel like I just don't want to be broke. But if it
Mhm.
wasn't that, like and if I didn't have a daughter, the extent to which I will go to help people, especially Africa,
Oh,
like
wow.
the
Yes.
things I have in my head sometimes it's like wow, but yes, I definitely like to serve. I definitely like to give. It just makes me happy. Like right now I'm prepping for a block party coming up next Saturday, April 26th. I
Okay.
partnered up with the Walter Bruce Foundation. It's a
Okay.
really big organization here in Dallas, and since I'm new in Dallas, I've been here for about 8 months. I'm
Mhm.
just now starting to network, get myself out there, and collaborate with people. So they
Yeah.
have been doing this movement for a long time. They feed hundreds of people every Saturday. And as you all know, that's something I've also been doing for a period of time on my own. So I am so excited. Like every day I wake up and I'm just writing down stuff like, okay, we're gonna need this, 100
Mhm.
pieces of this. and I'm just so happy. You would think that somebody is giving me money or something. But I don't know. I think there's a certain level of joy and satisfaction for me that comes from knowing that I made somebody's day better or
Yeah.
future better in any way. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell that you're genuine because I've seen some of your other videos where you went to Nigeria, you collaborated with another
Oh
foundation
yeah.
in Nigeria with your foundation, and you guys, paid
Yeah.
hospital bills for people that could not afford it and they were sick, right? So you did a
Mm-hmm.
lot of different things
Mm-hmm.
that I watched and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. So in the spirit of giving. Are you going to invite us to that event on April 26th so we can be a part of it?
Of course, I'm flying you out, babes. Next time, I'm sending my private jets. Just pray for me.
On the
Private
private
jet is coming to pick you
real.
up.
Let me see. You have how many days to get that private jet?
I have to see if it's available first. Wait, wait.
I love it.
No, but I do have some projects in DC too. Although I moved out of DC is home. Like Maryland is home, the DMV is home, and I just my move was a big step for me. That was like the biggest leap of faith outside of starting my business. But I took it, and now that I'm here, I love it here. But I'm constantly telling myself like, home is home, and there's a lot of things that I want to do home. So hopefully next year, when I do plan my DMV give back project, you too will be present.
Yes, we will.
Yes, yes,
Sharing.
yes,
We will. We
I
will
love
for
that. I
sure.
love that.
yes. So we're
I
about to
love that.
wrap it.
So I know this is a podcast. I know you was about to wrap it up.
Okay.
So I want to ask you ladies a question because I definitely enjoy. I was so looking forward to being here today. I've seen a couple of your videos, and I'm super proud of both of you for
Thank
what
you.
you guys are doing. The initiative. It takes courage, to be in front of the camera, to decide to bring a raw idea from your mind to reality. And I know there's like a lot of challenges that come with that. Like today, the
Yeah,
network wanted to just mess up
Yeah.
our plans, but you
right.
guys continue to push through. So I do want to say this on here. Please keep pushing through with the
Thank
podcast, with what you guys do. I pray
you.
God really blesses, this whole movement because it's really
Yeah.
nice. I love it.
Oh, amen.
Amen.
I'm giving you a virtual hug right now. Virtual hug. So in the spirit so in the spirit of uplifting and everything, what's your favorite song at the moment that just lifts you up and why?
Ooh, I have so
Why?
many. Okay. um, what's the title? It's CC Woodens. Um,
The winners. The winners.
oh my God, that is literally my favorite. And it goes, I love you, Lord. I don't know if you know it. For your
Yeah.
mercy never fails me. I forgot the title. I literally know it.
Oh,
All
Sissy, what
my days I've been hurt. Let me.
is it?
I know the
All my
title. I know the title, guys.
being faithful. Is that
Also,
it?
you know
It's
what?
I think so.
no, it's not
It's not.
faithful. I
Is
think
it all my
so.
days? I think.
People in the chat or in
Yeah,
the
but good. Wait, I
gonna list
think it's goodness of God. Goodness of God.
goodness of God. Mm.
Mm.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
it
I love
lifts you
it.
up. It lifts up your spirit.
It lifts like okay. So before we go, gospel music in general, like I, I, I think you guys. I'm giving you guys an assignment, right? When you're going through something,
Mm-hmm.
heartbreak, emotional,
Yes.
something. Find one gospel song that you really enjoy, but not just anyone. Find one that has good lyrics because I feel like it has a way of like healing your soul and
Mm-hmm.
just giving you some type of peace. It's like it just calms your spirit in so many ways that no human being can. So
That's true.
clock
Okay.
it.
Okay.
We're
I'm
clocking
taking
it.
I'm taking the
We
assignment.
are.
I receive it. I receive it.
We're clocking it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Yes.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
coming on. We appreciate the time. Your energy was unmatched. It's
Mm-hmm.
just contagious. We can feel your energy through the screen,
Yes.
even though we're not here. It
Thank
was
you.
definitely a great episode. We love the fact that you were open to us, you shared, and we really appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe,
Before
and
we go, if Maeva, do you mind just stating how people can reach out to you if they want to connect with you, maybe on your Instagram or whichever.
Of course, I don't mind.
Thank you.
Okay, so you guys can you guys can reach out to me. My Instagram is Maeva Biyo, Maeva Biyo. I also have a cosmetic and skincare brand, as you all know, watching, of course. Um, and the page for that brand it is Eva Such Beauty, EvaStouchBeauty. Even Such Beauty. Make sure you guys follow me. Show me some love. I have some goodies coming up, and stay tuned.
Thank you.
perfect.
All right. And on that note, thank you so much for coming.